Today, we're diving into how businesses are flipping the script on HR, turning it from a dreaded mountain of paperwork into a serious engine for growth. It's a huge shift, so let's get right into how they're pulling it off. So, does this sound familiar? You know, that feeling of being completely buried in an endless cycle of manual data entry, processing payroll, managing records. It just eats up all your time, right? Or, hey, maybe this is the one that hits home. Spending weeks, even months, trying to find the right people only to watch the best candidates slip away because your hiring process is just too slow. And what about when you finally hire someone great? Is their first week a total mess of forgotten paperwork, confusing introductions, and just a general feeling of chaos? If any of that is ringing a bell, well, you are definitely in the right place. See, this is what we call the old HR playbook. It's totally built on manual processes, systems that don't talk to each other, and just reacting to problems. It's a model where HR is always playing catch-up, and honestly, it ends up holding the business back instead of pushing it forward. But there is a much, much smarter way to work. So let's talk about the modern human resource management system, or HRMS for short. This is the kind of tech that completely changes the game. So what is an HRMS really? Well, at its heart, it's one single powerful system that brings all the different pieces of HR together onto one streamlined platform. Seriously, think of it as the central command center for your entire workforce. And this quote, it just nails the big idea here. It's not just about managing people anymore, it's about smarter workforce management. And trust me, that is a completely different mindset. The benefits you get from this are huge. You're making things way more efficient by automating all those repetitive tasks. You're making sure you stay compliant with tricky regulations, and you're boosting productivity across the board. But beyond that, you're actually improving the day-to-day experience for your employees and getting incredible data insights. We're talking about being able to see which teams might be at risk for turnover and why. That's powerful stuff. Okay, let's break this down a bit. First things first. How does an HRMS streamline the absolute core operations of a business? This is the engine room, right? The stuff that just has to work perfectly behind the scenes. Think of this as the financial and data backbone of your entire company. You have one central employee database, and it feeds directly into payroll, benefits, and compensation. What does that mean? It means no more errors from copying and pasting data between a dozen different spreadsheets. It's all seamless, it just works. Now for the side that's, maybe less glamorous, but is absolutely critical, security and compliance. A modern system is like your digital guardian. It handles things like identity access management, that's who gets to see what data. It automatically keeps you up to date with complex regulations, and it can even handle setting up new company laptops and phones for new hires. All right, so the back end is sorted. It's running like a well-oiled machine. Now let's switch gears and talk about the front end, how all this builds a better experience for your most important asset, your people. We're talking the entire employee journey, from the day they apply to the day they retire. In today's market, you know that speed is everything. This is your talent engine. An applicant tracking system, or ATS, automates the tedious job of filtering candidates, while a mobile app lets your hiring managers review and connect with amazing people on the go. This is how you win the war for talent in 2024. And once they're in the door, the journey is just beginning. A great HRMS gives them a smooth onboarding experience, provides tools for continuous performance feedback, offers a learning system for upskilling, and even helps you plan for future leaders with succession management. It's basically a roadmap for employee growth, built right in. And this is where it gets really powerful. An employee self-service portal gives people control over their own info. Engagement tools help you actually measure and improve your workplace culture, and all that data, it feeds right into HR analytics, letting you plan your future workforce with real strategy. So you're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold. This sounds amazing. But how do you actually get this technology? Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. There are basically three main paths you can take to build your own custom HR solution. This table lays it out pretty clearly. If your company has really unique needs, you can develop a system from scratch. If you've got an old system that just needs a serious upgrade, you can modernize it. Or if you need speed and scalability, you can switch to a cloud-based SaaS model. SaaS just stands for Software as a Service, which means you're basically subscribing to the software instead of building and owning it yourself. Whichever path you choose, the goal is always to build on a modern, solid foundation. And the technology that powers these new systems is incredibly impressive and super flexible.
On the front end, that's the part your employees actually see and interact with. You've got tech like React and Angular. These are what create those fast, modern, and easy-to-use interfaces that feel more like a slick app on your phone than clunky old work software. The goal here is zero frustration and everyone actually wanting to use it. Then there's the back end. This is the engine under the hood. Here you have powerful and reliable languages like Python and Java doing all the heavy lifting, processing payroll data, running complex analytics, and keeping everything secure and stable, even when you've got thousands of employees. And finally, the database layer. You can think of these as secure digital vaults, using powerhouse systems like PostgreSQL and Oracle. This is where all of your critical employee data is stored safely, it's encrypted, and it can be accessed in a flash when needed. It's really the foundation of trust for the whole system.
So let's bring it all together. The transformation is pretty stark, isn't it? You're moving away from manual, disconnected, and reactive, and moving toward automated, integrated, and data-driven. It's just a fundamental shift in how you operate. And the crucial point, the real takeaway here is this. A modern HRMS is not just another expense. It's an investment that transforms HR from a department that costs money into a strategic partner that actively drives sustainable success for the entire organization. And that leaves us with one final thought. Take a look at your own organization, at your own processes. Is your HR team just keeping the lights on, or is it truly ready to be a driver of growth? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.